I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. My wife said she listened to last week's podcast,
Right.
and she's like, "Well, I've got a couple things wanted to just say," and
Okay.
I'm like, oh, "Okay." I'm like, because I've told her, I'm like, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about,
Right.
And she goes, "I just don't want you guys to like sound like the grumpy old men who are like the guys on the Muppet Show up in the rafters or whatever,
Right.
yelling the insults out." And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And she goes, "I can hear about you complaining all the time at home. I don't want to hear about it on your podcast."
Okay, right.
So I don't know. Or should we rebrand the show, do you think?
I think rebranding is necessary.
I mean, because it's Statler and Waldorf are the two old guys
Right.
on the Muppet Show.
Okay, so we are old, but
We are old.
and we do complain a little bit.
I would say a lot of it. But so, okay. So I guess
Okay.
I'm more like Statler and you'd be more like
Waldorf.
I
Yeah, I would
guess?
say. I would say that
Okay.
in that
So
pairing.
do you think Disney will give us a cease and desist?
I think that we may actually have to readjust this, but let's go with it.
Okay. Let's try the new intro.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm Statler.
And I'm Waldorf.
Welcome to the show where we talk about movies, music, sports, and TV.
And the stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And that's how we all remain friends.
Okay, let's talk. I'm good with that.
Cool. Okay. It's like 900 degrees now here.
It was
we
like almost
finally-
90 yesterday.
I know. And it just started. And of course, since the eclipse, we haven't had air conditioning.
Right,
so-
because the total eclipse of the fart.
Decided to destroy my entire air conditioning, refrigerator,
home, even though you weren't
anything there, right? Yes.
Mhm.
So we've been trying to get the air conditioning unit replaced. It turns out that repairing it and it would just be this cycle of keep repairing it.
Right, we talked about that before. Yep,
Right.
Yep.
So
So you got to the point
we
where
got
the
to
guy
it.
came out
Right.
to do it.
Made an estimate, and now they're going to do it. It comes out yesterday. Okay. It's 900 degrees, and he's up in my attic, and he comes out of the attic, and he is dripping. He is just dripping.
And you didn't have any water for him.
Of course I had water for
Okay,
him, and
good,
we gave
good.
him water, and he was just old grizzled guy. He was great.
Old grizzled guy.
He really knew his stuff. He knew what was going on. He was walking us through it. But he had said that there is a problem with the connection. First, it was a short in the wiring. Okay, it wasn't a short in the wiring because then he finds out that we need this part. A transformer blew up in the air handler. So he goes and replaces the transformer. It's not that. It's not the transformer. So we waited 2 hours for him to get a new transformer. Then he goes back outside and finds that the unit that they just installed, this is right out of the box new unit.
Right, off the back of the truck,
right.
unpacked.
Out of the
on
box,
yeah.
pulled it out, and it turned out that the defrost control unit was bad. And we don't know if it was because he had hooked it up wrong or hooked it up with the transformer or had an issue with it. So then
Do I
was
need
like,
to take their theme song back?
I don't know.
Is this the good place you told me
This
about?
is the good
guys
place.
where they came out on the Sunday?
Yeah, this is the good place.
I retract my theme song for you.
Well, okay. But here's the
keep
thing.
going.
They
Yep.
made good on it because
Oh,
what they
okay.
did was they turned around and today they had a new unit out
Mhm.
to replace the one that came off the box, out of the box bad, which is true. It wasn't blown. It was out of the box bad. And turned around and had the guy there again. Unfortunately, he was there most of the day, checking the wiring, making sure that everything that was put in place correctly,
Properly this time?
Yes, and hooked it up, tested the heat also because it's a heat pump.
Yeah.
And so yes, now we supposedly have air conditioning until maybe when I go home and it decides it's not going to work anymore.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know. We'll see. But we are definitely in the 90s, and we might get a reprieve today because I think we're getting some rain
well,
tonight.
the rain came through earlier. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because my grill caught on fire at
No
dinner
way.
time. Yeah,
Well, at least you had rain to put it
Well,
out.
exactly, and that's what I did. So we have
You let the rain put it out.
We have a back porch that's screened in, and it has a high ceiling kind of on it. So I do grill inside, which is, it's not inside the house, but
Right.
it's inside the screened in porch,
course,
which is,
yes,
but
yeah.
the grill's right next to like the door and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I hadn't cleaned it since last summer, and we
Okay.
used it, and I had chicken on, and I'm grilling and grilling. And all of a sudden, it's just like black smoke, and I look, and the whole bottom has like caught on fire from the grease, and I'm just like, ugh, and like it's, and it had just started pouring rain, and my wife's like going for the fire extinguisher, and I'm just like, I just opened the door and wheeled it out and put the top up, and I'm like, let the rain put it out, because
There it is.
you're
You're done cooking.
I'm like,
got the chicken
whatever.
off, so
Yeah, I
it's all
pulled the
good.
chicken off, and I'm like, just let the rain put. I turned the gas off, make sure it was shut off, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
we almost
well,
burnt
I was
the house
surprised
down.
that we didn't. Yeah, I show up and it's just a kindling, just a kindling all over the.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
a
Yeah.
big
Don't say
tinder
that.
box.
Don't say that. Oh my gosh. Don't say
No,
that.
it didn't. So that was good.
Right. Exactly.
But that's good too.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I would have hoped that you would have called to cancel the
No,
recording.
we were still recording.
We're
Like,
recording.
Even if we're going to do it on our phones, we're recording it, and I'll cut it in somehow later. We're getting this show in.
A special
We are
broadcast
that
from
dedicated.
the phone. Yes. Perfect.
Dedicated to our 13 listeners.
Dedicated.
Actually, we have repeat listeners now in Denmark and Sweden.
Repeat?
The past two
Repeat,
episodes
really?
have been each downloaded in Denmark and Sweden.
Wow.
The past 2 weeks.
Welcome.
So shout out to whoever's in
Good,
Denmark and
welcome.
Sweden listening
Exactly.
to us.
Thank you very much.
We
Spread the
appreciate
news.
it.
Spread the news.
Yep. So they're like, oh, these stupid
International.
American idiots. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's true.
So your air conditioning, so it's now in, hoping that it works.
I'm crossing my fingers.
And
Tomorrow
by-
is refrigerator.
Oh,
and,
gotcha.
and pool. So I made a joke that the refrigerator is going to die and the pool is going to explode. So we'll see how this all
If you
plays
could
out.
get the pool exploding on video, that would be
I
epic.
can almost bet. Well, we're just
Epic.
opening the pool, but
I
everything.
know, but if like
it's
you just see like a big explosion in
nothing
the pool,
seems to be just happening correctly.
like you're making a Transformers movie in your backyard or something like that.
Right, and
There's
I'll just look
explosions
away.
up- Yeah,
It'll be
hold
a
the camera up.
selfie.
It'll be like when I did the solar eclipse. I just held the camera up. I
Just
didn't
held
look
it up.
at it. I was
Didn't
just
even
like,
you were just
Yeah.
hoping.
just point it towards the pool see if it blows up.
Right.
That'd be
Perfect.
awesome.
That's exactly true.
Okay, cool. Oh my gosh.
I hear that's how James Gunn records all of his movies.
Oh
He
yeah,
just
of course.
holds up a
That's how they
camera
do
and
all-
praise
yeah,
it
just
works.
praise it works. That's really all it is.
Fix it in the mix.
Maybe that's why Hollywood's so woke right now,
It's all cut
because they
It's
just
all-
don't.
it's
They
just
just
the
like
cut.
turn the camera on, see
Just
what we
let it-
get.
Let's see what we get, and then
We
we'll just
have
piece it all together.
no
We'll just cut
idea.
it.
Yeah.
Cut it together.
And speaking of TVs and movies,
Movies.
So okay, well, TVs first. So I started watching Fallout.
Okay.
And I'm 2 episodes in
Yes.
so far. And the first episode, I gotta say, that was a slow burn.
Oh,
I was just
know.
like,
It did get
I'm
a little.
watching, and I'm like, right off the bat, you get her quirkiness and her
Mhm.
like, hey, I'm ready to get
Right.
married and all that stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I mean, and it's based off a video game. You got to
Yeah,
go
you
into
gotta-
it with that. It's
yes.
gonna look and kind of be like a video game. So.
Right.
And I'm watching, and I love Kyle MacLachlan. I'm a huge Kyle MacLachlan fan. So as soon as I saw him come in as her dad,
The dad.
I was like, "Hey, Kyle MacLachlan!" I said, "Okay, I'm in." But that first episode just seemed like such a slow burn. I watched episode 2 last night, and
Yeah.
again, seemed like it was like, is this really just? It just wasn't pulling me in. And first of all, is it Maximum or Maximus? That guy,
Maximus.
that character is like was John Boyega not available?
I guess not.
From
They
the
had
Star
to find
Wars
a lookalike, maybe.
guys?
It
But-
kind of
but if
seemed
you
like
look
that's exactly
he
who that
looks like
was.
a cross between John Boyega and Denzel Washington.
Oh,
If they
really?
had if those two guys,
Love
those two
baby.
actors had a kid,
Yeah.
that would be this guy.
I would
It's
say
like,
that's
we want a guy that
good
kind of looks. He's
characterization.
got a little bit of a Denzel thing to him,
Right.
and he's like, and I mean, he's a good actor. Not knocking you. I mean,
Yeah, he's
and-
good in that role too. 'Cause
But
I
it was
think-
just that was the first thing that when it was that distracting of like, oh wait, this probably wasn't the first choice, and they couldn't get.
maybe,
John
maybe not.
to
I mean,
do it,
again, if
and-
you think of the names that are in this, I don't see too many that are over the top.
right,
Right.
but Ella Purnell, which is her last name,
Yeah.
she's a British actress, and she's had a couple shows
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
online before, like and
Right.
stuff like that. So I went through and I was like, oh right, okay, she was in this and
Yeah.
that and this, and so
Yes.
she's carried a show even before. She was a lead actress in one of my, I can't remember what it was, but it honestly didn't pick up for me until, and don't want to spoil anything,
Right.
until like the fight scene with the metal robot guy and the cowboy guy. Like
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
town.
yeah.
But that was almost like half an hour into the second episode.
Yeah,
and I'm just
that's
like,
true.
okay, it's finally picking up. And it doesn't have to be an action scene. I mean, I'm a total dialogue driven drama type fan. I love
Right.
that type of stuff. But this was I'm watching going, where's it going? Where's it going? What's it doing? And like, it's only 8 episodes. And like, if we're an hour and a half in, and then it picked up and I'm like, okay. And then I got it. And I'm just waiting to see her. And you've already watched the whole thing, so don't say anything. I'm waiting for her to just completely like unleash, because like, in the very first episode it talks about how like, she's, she's not a good marksman, but she's like hitting the bullseye every time, and like she's a gymnastics club, and she's does this fighting stuff, and she's definitely somebody who could make it in the outside the vault world,
right?
As a was it a land dweller? Is that what they call them, or was it because they were vault dwellers and I don't know, whatever the people outside were that lived through the. Oh wait, so I have a total side question.
Wow.
So if you had the choice,
yes.
Of course, this isn't real. This is just for fun.
Right.
If you had the choice, would you rather live in a post-apocalyptic world like Fallout or Mad Max, or would you rather live in the zombie apocalypse world like The Walking Dead? Now, and think about it. So you've got dangerous stuff either way.
Right.
You have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And so which would you rather have? Would you rather have that post-apocalyptic where like there's still some remains of what existed before and there's other people around, but everybody's out for themselves? Or would you rather just be there's less people still alive and you're always having to be careful about not getting eaten by a zombie?
See, that surprise zombie scenario there, I think would switch me over to the apocalyptic one. I couldn't do zombies just because they're just popping out everywhere. But if you watch Walking Dead, though, the zombies were deteriorating, right?
Yeah.
So there was a point where the zombies were just going to be puddles of goo because they
eventually, yeah. Well, and there were some in Walking Dead like that where they were like their legs were broken and he was in the swamp or something, or in the creek and couldn't get out, but so the water had just completely deteriorated his whole lower
and the one that was in the
away,
well that they pulled
apart.
apart.
Stuff like that. One thing with Walking Dead, my wife and I said this for years, and honestly, I never watched the last season of Walking Dead. I got to the point where I didn't finish it after I loved the first 4 or 5 seasons and all of that and was like in through it. It got to the point where my wife and I both agreed. They would be in like this high up like area, like or on top of a car or something, and they're like just surrounded by zombies. It's like, how are you going to get out of it? I'm like, you just take your knife and start like hitting them in the head like whack-a-mole
from up top,
whack, 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 whack. Like, and they're like, I mean, yes, they'll eventually start climbing up the other bodies, but there was like 5 people on top of a car. If everybody's got their knives out, they're just whacking them right in the head and killing them instantly. Like, I think you got a pretty good chance. The zombies are dead. They're not, smart.
Right.
So,
right. Unless they're like 28 days later zombies who were just fast.
But then that's a whole different because there were different types of zombies.
Yeah,
they're doing a 28 years later movie.
Oh my, really?
I heard that. And that they're coming out with that. Oh, but fake news real quick. Oh. Just again another tangent going off. The Rob Zombie Fred series is fake.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, how did you find that out?
So I'm talking to my friend Greg. He and I have been friends since we were like 5 and 6 years old. He like since little kids. We've been friends forever. Okay. And he is a horror genre, and he's also a big Star Wars and everything. And so he and I were texting the other day, and I made the comment. I said, "Hey, what do you think about the Rob Zombie Fred limited series coming up?" And he goes, "Haven't heard about that." And then I sent him the picture that I had showed you. Right. And then I said, "Is this real or is this fake?" And he immediately probably goes, "That's fake." Oh, and I went and did research, and yes, so Wes Craven, when he died, his family bought back the rights to the whole Night on Elm Street series and the whole Freddy Krueger thing, and they bought all that back. And there has been an idea for either a reboot or something, another Freddy or Nightmare on Elm Street thing in the works, but there's nothing that is like greenlit in development. Okay. It's just been now since I think 2019. There's been, hey, we need to do another Freddy thing, so yeah, the whole Rob Zombie Fred on Max in October thing is totally fake. And you got me. Sorry, internet. You got me. I'll admit. Not afraid to admit. You got me.
With AI,
I thought it was, I was like that,
That'd have been great.
And so I was a little upset about that too, because I'm like, well, maybe they should call Rob Zombie and say, hey, look, if the internet's talking about you doing this show, maybe you should do
and
that.
DJ too. Get him on board.
And DJ, get the band to play. But speaking of other things that we're going to step away from movies and come back to movies, I'm still tangenting off. We still got to get what was your response? Hold on. Yeah, let's back up. What was your response to you went with post-apocalyptic instead of zombie apocalypse?
I went with post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I kind of think I would have to go that route as much as I would think if I could find like a bunker and hunker down and if I had food supply.
Like a vault?
Yeah. I mean, I have no problems like
you're only on
living like that.
You're only on
episode 2 of Fallout? Yeah.
Yeah, you may change your mind.
Okay, I might change my mind when I get that. Okay, so all right, so yeah, you're going post-apocalyptic. I'm edging towards zombie.
You're edging towards
apocalypse.
Zombies. I just find that the zombies, if it is zombies, right, and then everybody's utilizing all the resources, then you're not going to have a lot of people to do what needs to be done to create. And it seemed like the post-apocalyptic one, at least there were enough people to where create.
they were reusing stuff that existed to make it was and
there was even like a barter system.
And with Fallout, they were saying all the vault dwellers they had jobs like growing corn and
exactly
making stuff underground because it couldn't be planted above ground because of the radiation issues. Okay, all right. Well,
I mean there is that.
Right, so I went through Fallout and then. Did you know? I saw this, and this is a kind of between the fake news thing because of the Rob Zombie Fred thing.
Okay,
and if it's real, and I don't know because I haven't gone back because I have to go dig out a DVD and put it in a DVD player to watch this to get confirmation.
Right.
Did you know? And I've seen the story before online. Apparently, Back to the Future and the Goonies took place on the same day. In different parts of the country. In
the universe, you mean?
In Back to the Future, when he gets in, the time on the DeLorean is October 26th, 1985.
Okay.
In the Goonies, even though they never say that it is that day, there are hints in the movie, like when Corey Feldman's character comes in the house the first time, and the older brother's doing his workout thing. He's hanging upside down. There's a calendar right beside his head that's in the month of October. And they also knew that it was in 1985 because it was filmed the same year, same time. So they knew it was based in 1985 because later when there's they open up the newspaper and like the bad people or whatever are on the cover of the newspaper.
Right.
The date can be seen that it was like October 24th, 1985. So it was a day or two before that.
There. Yeah.
And also Corey Feldman's character makes the comment, goes, come on, this is our last weekend of of October. And the only Saturday, which was the last weekend in October, was October 26th, 1985.
Well, there you go.
Which would mean like it was the same day of their lives.
Wow.
In the movies. Which is funny because Spielberg was a producer on one and then and it was just so there was like that crossover. It was like one of those like Easter eggs.
That was the tie-in?
I don't know. I don't know if they really.
You think people think that far ahead or if it was like, I was using October 26th here, I'm going to use it there too.
Yeah,
or we're going to film in October.
But again, on the Goonies, they never actually say it's October 26th. They just there are the references like it's the month of October. He goes, "Hey, it's the last weekend we have this month," or something like that. And the newspaper was like would have been the Friday edition, the 2 days before, or the day before Thursday edition.
Tie those together, but yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. So I meant to actually go pull out my Back to the Future DVDs and put in the first one to actually see it because in years past I've seen thing where like you'll see the meme online like today's the day when Marty did blah blah. I'm like it wasn't. That's the wrong date. You just made that up and put it up on the internet.
Like
it wasn't.
You caught that one.
It wasn't April 30th, 1985. It was that would be today, wouldn't it? It would be. So I'm a little just the misinformation on the internet is huge. I'm just finding this out. Have you heard about
that they lie on the internet?
Oh my god!
Put that
on the
misinformation
internet.
on the internet.
Everything on the internet was real. Nice. I seriously thought everything on the internet was real.
Well, hey, they don't have people checking their facts. I guess.
Apparently not. So, but also wait. So hold on one second. So while I was talking to my friend Greg and texting, I'm kind of like gone into a horror movie like mode where I want to watch more horror movies, and I even told him that, and I told him I'd watched Thanksgiving and Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff, and I said, and he knows like deeper, darker stuff, like not stuff that like super
Fluff.
mainstream, and so like I was like, what do you, some recommendations? And he's like, oh yeah, and he gave me like a list like almost immediately of like 8 or 9 movies, and then he asked me if I had seen the Terrifier series. Have you seen either one of those? Terrifier?
No.
He said the first one wasn't great, but I mean, neither was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Well, true.
And he said the second one was then, I think, fan funded, and actually had a decent budget, was shot well, and they're now they're making a third one that will be out, I think, later this year. But the first one came out in like 2019, and then the second one was like 2022 or something like that. But the Terrifier series, so just Terrifier is the first movie, or Terrifier 2, and so I think that's going to be my first on my list to check out,
right?
Because I'm kind of in I don't know why, it's spring. Why am I in a like fall horror movie kind of?
You're not one to just cope with seasons. You're all
true.
over the place.
Yeah, I'm always cold. I'm just
you're
cold-hearted.
There's no reason for you to stay in one season when all you want to be is cold.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of movies.
Oh, movies.
You know how you gave me softballs?
Oh, you're giving me movie quotes?
Yeah, movie quotes.
Oh my gosh.
So here we go. And
so two are real and one's fake?
No.
Just kidding.
This is just I'm going to throw it out there, and you're going to have to.
If I don't know it, I'll just be I don't know it. But
you will know. I would have to say you're at 90% of these to 100.
You're going to make me feel so stupid. No, I picked me a second.
I picked them specifically so that you would be able to get them. That's how easy these are.
Okay.
I'm just saying, and this is from the AFI top 100 quotes of all time.
Yes.
Movies. Okay. First one. Okay. What we got here is failure to communicate.
That was the I know the name of the movie. See, this is why, because like
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like I can see it in my head. I know what it is, and that go ahead.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yes, Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Okay. So next, I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. A census taker tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs.
Good. I'm walking here.
Midnight Cowboy.
Yes. Okay. That was one I was a little worried that you because that's an older movie. A lot of these like are in the older ones, right?
Yeah, 76.
That was 69.
Oh, it was 69?
I put the years here too, so if you needed to.
Well, but yeah, okay.
Cool Hand Luke was 67. Apocalypse Now was 79.
Okay.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Well, Jaws.
Yes, 75.
Yep.
I'll Be Back.
A Terminator.
Yep. I See Dead People.
Sixth Sense.
Yep. Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Dirty Dancing.
Cinderella Story, Out of Nowhere, a former groundskeeper, now about to become master champion. It's in the Hole.
Happy Gilmore? What the hell was that?
Caddyshack.
Oh my God.
I know. So that was a quick run. I figured that
was that the last one?
That was the last one I have. There were 100. Now the weird information.
There were 100. We'll see in the next hour of the show.
Yes, exactly. We didn't need to rattle off all of them because some of them were really obscure, like No More Wire Hangers.
Mommy Dearest.
Right. So there were some that I didn't quite know if you would get because they were in that same mode of being.
I've watched older movies, Dave.
Oh, I didn't know. How did I know that? But I'm just saying, the funniest thing is that the AFI picked 100 most movie quotes. The only one that was in the 21st century was Precious, which is from Lord of the Rings. Gollum saying.
Right, yeah. Precious.
In 2002, nothing after that was on the list.
Really?
2002 was
after
the
2002.
newest quote. Which I thought was kind of interesting because everything else was in the 20th century.
Well,
so I thought that was kind of weird.
The whole Top Gun Maverick script is one big quote.
Oh,
that's
right?
Just,
right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll have to look for some more 2022 to date quotes in the past, like or you said 2020 or 2022?
What do you mean? 2002.
Oh, 2002. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so off on my.
And that was it.
Okay, let's go back
from 2002.
22
on,
years. Sorry about that.
Really, I mean, I'm pretty sure there were quotable quotes, but in the top 100, there weren't any. And I thought that was a little weird that maybe the list is just a little outdated.
Right. Oh, wait, wrapping back to Fallout.
Yes.
So her character name is Lucy McLean.
Oh, there we go.
Which
His
was
daughter, right?
John McClane's daughter in Die Hard.
Right.
And like, so when Kyle MacLachlan's character, I had to look it up. I'm like, oh my God, if they named him John, I'm going to, like, this is totally going to be like, so this is post Die Hard.
Right.
Like, after the apocalypse, now that they're grown up, like,
Right.
Lucy's now grown up.
Yeah, but they named him from the, but they named him from the game. So that was kind of a throwback for the game too. Which,
but I don't know if the game programmers, when they
had that in their head. Yeah, who knows?
Like Lucy McLean.
Yeah,
like
who
that
knows?
But when her name was like Lucy, I'm like, what?
What?
That's Lucy. Is that grown up Lucy McLean? What?
Now you're theorizing.
I know.
Nice.
Can we get Bruce Willis back out of retirement? I know he's not really speaking.
Right. You just have him sit there in a chair.
Just have him sit there.
Perfect.
Be dad.
Right.
Yeah. We love you, Bruce. We do.
Right.
We love you.
Right.
Oh my gosh. What else do we have?
Well, you have your own internet stuff that you
Oh my gosh. Over. Okay. Yeah. So one of the things.
Fake or real?
Yeah, fake or real? Well, they're all fake. Apparently.
They're all fake. Everything's
that
fake.
was actually part of that. Was just the dumbing of America, like the little things and the false information. And this, I'm going to show you some pictures from my phone and get your reaction.
Okay,
I love getting Dave's reaction.
No problem. I'll probably bump the mic so you'll hear that.
Yeah, of course.
I always do.
Oh, going to the wrong photo. Okay. So this picture I saw that came up the other day, and we talked about one weeks ago, and this one is in the similar vein. So it's Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
And
so what?
And Dakota Fanning.
That was what, 21 years after?
Yeah. When they were in Uptown Girls in 2003. And it's a picture of, Dakota Fanning. She's really little. And, Brittany Murphy sitting there talking to her. And then below is a photo from 2024 of Brittany Murphy and Dakota Fanning. And I'm like, Brittany Murphy died in like 2009.
Yes, so that's kind of not where she is in 2024. That kind of
doesn't really work now, does it?
Yeah, so wishful thinking, but yes.
And things I've seen online. There was a video that a friend of mine had posted about this guy that he goes into Times Square in New York City and he asks people like basic knowledge questions about like the country,
right?
Like how many states are in the
States.
and people are like 3 and like or how many? Oh my gosh! And he just goes yes because he's so dumbfounded by
he just lets them go because he wants that reaction,
right? It's just so it was amazing to see, and who knows if he set those up too. Maybe he's just told the people, say something stupid, but some of them seem pretty like honest to God,
right?
Like they weren't actors; they were really just
how do you
dumb
miss 50,
and not.
Though? I mean, that's kind of a thing, right? There's
or what countries are to the north and south of us?
Oh my God!
And they would go. They couldn't pull together Canada and
through?
Mexico. They one person said Russia, and someone else. It was just like. What are you talking about? And it's just how people are.
Were they though, or is that just put on?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll never know. It's for entertainment value, and we laugh and like, oh, these people look so stupid.
Oh my gosh, I know more than them.
Smarter.
It makes us feel better. Yeah,
they're so much smarter than us. And then just other. I don't know. The internet's been. My social media, I've been off social media for a couple years and I've just recently got back on because of the podcast and, talk and reconnect with people. But there's just stuff that comes up that just like, going back, like the AI girlfriend thing weeks ago that we talked about. Oh, and then, this one I saw this week. I saw one for AI stepmom. And it has this,
How does that work?
This mom and she's like, well, your dad's out of town. Is there something you want to show me in your room? And I'm like, did I just throw up in the back of my throat?
Oh my God.
And it's all AI. So if you have AI stepmom fantasies, and then in the same scroll, literally 3 things down, was another one for AI stepsister.
Oh, Jesus.
And like,
well, I'm glad AI is getting used correctly.
You could learn from your stepsister. Things. And she'll do. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm about to throw up. I'm about
God.
The fact that these got in my feed, I don't know again how, it's just, I'm like Facebook. And then,
Wow.
Some of the ads, I'm like, can I just turn all those off and not, it's like, it's turning off Facebook.
Right.
That's what it is. Did you see, and AI related real quick, I
Oh.
sent you the article about the new Motley Crue record.
Yes, and I freaking heard it on the way here, and I still
you heard the
stand by
song?
my thing.
That same song?
They had it on freaking
The Dog
Sirius
Wars
XM
or something? Or?
Dogs of War.
Yeah.
And they had it on Hair Nation. So I listened
The
to it
song
again, just the song without the video, because the video is a little distracting from the song.
Yeah.
So just hearing the song, I stand by my assessment. It is very repetitive in its everything.
So the deal with the new Motley Crue record that is coming out. The producer was Bob Rock, I think. He produced a lot of the metal bands back in the 80s and 90s. They did this record full AI.
AI.
They said there was hardly any human interaction with the record. I mean,
was that
Vince Neil's
they
voice
played
has
the
got
music? And they played
I have no
the thing,
idea.
Or did they let
I don't know if they
AI
just literally went in and said, "Here, make up a song that sounds like Motley Crue," and entered some, Dogs and War. And
they said album, not just song.
I know
the whole album.
The whole album.
AI. But did AI come up with all the lyrics and songs, and then they did it?
They may have,
or did it go the other
way?
Or did it go the other way and said the AI just did everything, and we just put our name on it?
Yeah. Or did they make Vince Neil be able to sing again? Did you see? Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know. Have you seen the videos online of Vince Neil singing live lately?
No, I missed that.
Oh my god, they are so funny. I've got it. Well, after the show, I'll look some of those up for you. They are hysterical. I laugh. I laugh.
Is an interesting animal.
Much. They're so funny. Yeah. So, and then the music video, I think, is fully AI too.
Yeah. Well,
that was it was all animation,
right,
obviously.
But I think you're right.
Yeah, and the music video, I don't even know if I finished the song. I got to I don't know, 3 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
You're done.
And I'm like, I've seen what I'm going to see. I've stopped. I'm done.
I actually let it go, and I went all the way and saw the whole thing. And
right.
I don't know. I just,
yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. It was so generic.
I guess I missed the grit of it. I guess I don't know. There's just an element of
something.
Something.
Mean Mick Mars on guitar? Since they kicked him out of the band and they've got some other guy playing guitar now. Yeah, the grit.
Well, the old more man grit. of the lyrics too. That it wasn't just the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, you mean just sexist lyrics? And
well, that too, but it was more of the. It didn't seem like it was just the chorus. Even everything in between was repeated.
Nothing. Yeah, and nothing gelled. It just sounded. Yeah, like it was an AI made song.
Yeah, right. Well, if that's what it is.
AI. Let's just stop.
That was already 6 stories in that were AI driven.
Well, I think it's time to stop.
Okay.
We might have to put the
Is that what it is? No more AI?
Is
this a moratorium on AI?
You will not hear any of that out unless it's absolutely groundbreaking, shocking to us that this happened. Yes. I don't think we can say we're shocked anymore.
Or saves a life or something.
Rest in peace, AI. R.I.P. AI.
We're going to have to R.I.P. AI.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. AI. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, I got car stuff.
Car stuff. Well, the car guys.
Okay.
Got to get that in.
If you get a personalized plate, then, and it doesn't make any sense because it's just numbers and letters. Why wouldn't you just get the default numbers and letters plate?
Do you think someone actually came up with a random number letter combination and put it on a license plate? Is that what you said you saw?
Or
you just didn't understand?
No, this is a license plate I didn't understand. It was a Ford F-150.
Okay.
License plate number.
We're outing the car.
Well, I have to because I have to tell you the license plate number. No, don't. Yeah, sorry. We're not outing any. We're not.
Right.
It's just
it's just you saw
and
the
he
plate.
didn't do anything wrong or driving weird. It was just I didn't understand his license plate.
It's out in public,
and all of these.
And this is the car.
It's not like I'm reporting somebody.
If you're a listener, I'm just
telling. Yes, we're just talking about the license plate.
We'd love to know if you want to write in and
put it in the comments on Facebook, on Instagram. Put them in the comments. What does your license plate mean? I would like to know what your license plate. So it's a Ford F-150, a fairly newer model too. It was nice.
Okay.
And the license plate was MVIN 4WD. Now, I got the 4WD part. He's in a 4-wheel drive truck.
Moving.
I got that.
Moving 4-wheel.
Oh, it's moving.
You didn't get it.
I was like, what's MVIN? I'm like, Mavin? MVIN?
Look, you had it in your head. You didn't even see it.
Oh my God, it's moving.
Moving.
And now I see it.
Now you see moving.
Just like,
now it's just the whole thing. So
God.
it was very clever.
Oh my, which then makes sense on the next one I saw.
Oh, is this another one I have to translate?
Literally 60 seconds later.
Yes.
60 seconds later, same road. Mm-hmm. After I pass MVIN 4-wheel
MVIN,
drive. And I
right.
was like, what is a MINVIN? What is that? Some slang for MVIN? This little BMW goes zipping by me in the lane, like we talked about BMWs before. And his license plate was VINMAS. And I'm like, what's with all the VIN stuff?
Oh, so
like,
you thought
I literally
it was...
just saw VIN 4-wheel drive, and now this BMW goes flying by me, and he's got VIN MAS. Yeah. And I'm just like, but now the moving thing makes sense because it could be like moving. It could be VIN, so and he's in a BMW.
Is that a Spanish thing? Because Moss is more. Is Vin
moving
something?
more? Like
maybe Vin is like life.
If you want to do like the Spanish to English translation real quick, are
we pausing?
No. I'll keep talking. I'm going to tell you about the next one. We're going to come back to Vin Moss.
Okay, perfect.
We're coming back to Vin Moss. Then, like 5 minutes later, I'm about to turn into work, and I'm behind another BMW, and their personalized plate is KWASI-OJ, and I'm like, is it a Kawasi orange juice? Is it what is a Kawasi? That's like borderline for me. Like I said, putting just random letters and numbers on my license. Oh, you know what I should do? I should get a new personalized license plate and get just random letters and numbers on it. And then that'll be like the password for everything.
Right.
And people will never know because it'll be like the guy driving my Tesla.
Yes.
Like nobody would realize. So I would be putting my password because like how like the stronger passwords are just numbers and letters. The numbers and letters put it on the license plate, and that's just my license plate number, and no one will know.
No one will know. Right.
I will be the most secure, unsecure person.
Right. It would just
because I will change every one of my passwords for every account I own to those numbers and letters, and it would be a strong password.
Right.
In the search box, it'd be like, "Ooh, strong password!" Like it's like 7 or 8 digits, and they're all letters and numbers.
They're all letters, numbers,
just random.
Which you sent me that graph that so many years would go by before they brute forced the passwords.
Hacking passwords.
Yours was actually like what 27 million.
Mine was up there. Like it was like this little.
I don't know if this would do it because it's only letters and numbers you can use, but
maybe
it would be less because letters and numbers are easier just by themselves.
But not if they're mixed around and stuff and make no sense.
You check that graph. I could almost bet that it's not 27 million years. So
I don't remember.
But I do have the translation, and I was right. Spanish to English. Vin Moss is came more. Yeah, very clever.
Ha ha ha!
Yeah, right.
Who's eating all the pussy now, or whatever? Remember that from the? Oh my
that's
god,
what that is. But that's what.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So I figured,
which falls right into our "Disgusted with America" segment. All the things we were
slid that under Virginia.
I'm
DMV.
Statler.
Yes, perfect.
And you're.
And I'm Waldorf.
Grumpy old men sitting up in the balcony.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. They slid that under because they do check those things. Like you can't put cuss words in like with characters in it, like you can't do SHT on there on your plate.
Oh yeah.
But they check that stuff. So
I got a picture of another car for you.
Another car.
We're still on cars. This was on the back of an Acura as I was driving to work. Is that not A, ridiculous, or B, hysterical? It's a spoiler. It's a spoiler on the back of an Acura sedan.
I was looking at the license plate because we were just talking about license plates.
Spoiler on the top of the trunk.
What is
on
those
the top
letters
of the trunk.
and numbers mean no sense to me. Yeah, I get that now.
On the top of the trunk. And I'm like, is it
now.
A, just ridiculous and stupid, or B,
they're
genius
trying to be
hysterical?
Stupid. Yeah, I think that's the one they're going for.
I'm behind this Acura, and they took how cars have the back spoilers that go across the back.
Elaborate
obviously.
Some
that are wet. Yeah, like they're jacked up like 3 feet, so you can't see out the back window because your spoiler's in the way.
Yeah, but it's
this looks like it's one of those type of spoilers, but off of like a small put together model car.
It's only 3 inches long.
And it's maybe 3 inches long. And it's stuck right above the Acura logo. So it's like really going to get its wind lift.
Really going to help. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. Is that just here I'm being stupid, or here I'm
perfect?
It's genius and it's funny.
It's a little obnoxious, but yes, I get it.
Okay. Have you seen those big gray trucks that drive around?
Gray trucks.
The big gray ones. They're like everywhere now. How have you not? they say something like Amazon on them or something like that.
No.
Yeah?
I haven't. No.
So, okay, I
Is it
saw
only
one.
you?
I saw one the other day
Okay.
that was one of those big gray Amazon trucks. That was supposed to be funny. You did not sell that at all.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
Big gray
on the
trucks.
side of the truck, it has, they all have little sayings
I
like,
see
"Oh,
the
watch Thursday
Amazon.
night football" and blah blah blah. This
Okay,
one was
making
"Don't let
deliveries.
these deals pass you by." Like, ha ha ha! I'm in the Amazon truck and I'm gonna pass you by. And I'm like, as I'm driving past him, I'm like, I just passed you, fucker.
Yeah.
Like,
where are my deals now?
Reddit when I'm
bitch?
passing you. I think I'm passing up on your deals.
Passing your deals.
So, and then I saw this Planet Fitness car.
Okay, wait. Are you just naming cars you see on the road now? Is this what this is? You're just taking cars and naming them.
I love Lamp. I love Lamp. I love Lamp. Okay, I found this one picture too. We're now shifting out of cars, by the way. That was the last car.
That was the last car one.
That was the last car joke.
Perfect.
I came across this, and you can purchase this
Oh.
online,
Okay.
and I just don't know how I feel about this. It is a whiskey glass
Right.
that has a little mountain in the bottom of the glass.
Your favorite mountain.
Right.
is what
And
that
the
says.
tagline says, "Your favorite mountain in your new favorite glass."
How many favorite mountains do you have?
I don't know. Like,
Can
am
you
I
think of
going
4?
Mount Fuji? Am I
Okay.
going to go
One. Everest.
Everest? Am I going to go,
Rushmore.
do you want something a little more secluded? Let's go Pikes Peak in Colorado.
Oh, perfect,
I mean, maybe
right?
because that mountain is good.
Right.
I
But
don't
then,
know
of
what
course, it
accent
only
that was.
takes
I
out-
apologize if I
that was-
offended anybody because I don't even know what accent that was.
Colorado.
Was that my Colorado?
Colorado
My
accent.
Coloradan high.
I'm going to have to remember
accent.
that one.
Okay,
You're
that's
gonna have
what
to
we're
keep-
calling it at
keep
least.
pulling that
Because
out.
if that's the people I offend.
But
people in
doesn't the
Colorado.
mountain in the glass make it so that you have less in your glass because the mountain is
Absolutely
up in your glass now?
And I get the whole like mountains cold, but yeah, like Scotch drinkers sometimes like it on the rocks, or they like it neat. Neat means
Right.
no ice.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Did you not know that?
I don't drink, so yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know
So if you ask for like
For it
Scotch and neat, it means there's no ice in it. But if it's
I
on the
knew.
rocks, it has ice. So
Right,
and usually if you don't say anything, they'll ask you, on
What
the
you
rocks or
want.
neat, and
Right.
it's like one of the two. Yeah. So, but there are whiskey drinkers, and like Scotch and whiskey, that they'll put ice in that. So when you put 2 ice cubes on each side of that mountain, what's it going to look like?
Good God. Yeah, exactly. Nice.
I'm like, so again, just a
I
funny,
like my
just a
mountain on
funny
the
thing.
rocks.
I like my mountains on the rocks. I saw one of the worst, probably like sex pun clips on Facebook today. It's a wife and her husband, and they're standing in front of the camera, like doing their TikTok or whatever thing it is.
Right.
And the woman, her joke is, why do they call it morning wood when they should call it early breakfast?
Oh.
And they both just start laughing hysterically.
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Leave the comedy to the professionals. Not us. Not saying we are. Like, I mean,
Right,
like other
yes.
people. Yeah, keep it
Yeah,
to them.
that's good, Statler.
Yeah. I just thought that was, I'm like, okay. Again, dumbing of America. Oh, I thought we were done with that segment.
It's still, it's an ongoing thing.
Oh, so NHL playoffs.
Right. So wait, before you get into that.
Oh, do we have something else?
No, I have NHL stuff though.
Right.
Story
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh.
So, well, you asked me to go do some research, and I was watching NHL stuff. I was watching the games. So I figured that the NHL information that we want to talk about, a lot of people don't know, like the backgrounds of some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
One of them that I think would be interesting is do you think you could name a majority of the NHL teams that have never won a Stanley Cup?
Is it something like 12 or something?
There are
like that?
12. There's
Okay.
about 12.
Yeah.
Can you give me some names on them, and I'll cross them off
Well,
the
the
list?
Florida
I have the
Panthers.
list here.
Florida Panthers.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm moving up the coast. This
Yeah,
might
I
take
figured
a
you
while.
were
the
kinda-
Kraken. I mean, the Kraken.
Right. They just
obviously
came
their
in.
new
So yeah,
expansion
that's,
team, so they've never won.
That's 2.
Moving out through the.
I know it's tough.
I mean, the Avalanche have won, the Kings have won, the Ducks have won. Sorry, I'm out on the West Coast swing right now.
Right.
The Canucks have won. I thought they had won. No, maybe no,
they're
because
on
they
the
lost. They
list.
lost to the Rangers in '94
They're on the
because that was the
list.
Pavel Bure season. They went to the
Right.
Cup and they lost to the Rangers. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, that was Sorry. Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
So that's that one. You got 3.
Oh yeah, that was 3.
Yeah.
Uh,
You want to keep trying? I can read them off real quick. If you
yeah,
like,
sure,
or-
that might be better.
Okay, I got Arizona Coyotes.
which are now going to be the Utah somethings.
Are they?
They picked up and moved. You didn't hear about that?
No.
They literally.
Is that a stadium thing?
Their second to last. No, their second to last game.
Right.
It was like a Friday night. Somebody from the company came in and said, and this was an away game because they were about to play this game and then go home to play their last home game. And so while they're on the road, this person comes into the room and tells them, the team's relocating to Utah next season. Wow. So this next game coming up is going to be our last game at home. Utah. So they'll play the same with the basketball team, the Jazz. Yeah. So they'll play in the same building.
Okay.
As the Utah Jazz.
Wow. So
they're going to, a populated area. It's not like they're going to Springfield,
Montana.
Yeah, something, whatever.
Next.
Oh, right. So we were on the list. Yeah. Okay, go.
Okay. Yeah. Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, yeah.
Florida Panthers. You got that one.
Right.
Minnesota Wild, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, because the Dallas Stars had one. So but
it's Dallas, right?
Oh, you
Not
mean Dallas
Minnesota.
Wild, right? Because the Dallas Stars or the Dallas
Minnesota
Wild.
The Minnesota
Wild.
About?
Minnesota Wild.
Not
so because since they've come back,
right?
They haven't. Yeah,
right.
I knew that.
Nashville Predators.
They've gone a couple times, but they haven't won.
I haven't gotten to it. Ottawa Senators.
The Sens, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ottawa or the San Jose Sharks.
And these are okay. So wait,
the ones that
Ottawa
haven't
Senators, came back in the franchise expansion,
right? And,
so they haven't won it since then. Yeah, they've only had
true.
Or they went against the Ducks and then lost against the Ducks.
Okay. You got the Seattle Kraken, Vancouver Canucks, and the Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets. That one popped into my head, and I wasn't sure.
Didn't want to throw that one out.
And I was like, okay.
So with that, also, you know how they have all the different things that get done at stadiums. One of the things is that they throw crap out onto the ice.
Oh, well, yeah, in Detroit, like they throw the squid.
Yeah, so that was one of them.
Tradition.
So you got the that one, but the octopus for the Red Wings. About that was
That's
that.
What
You said squid.
I said squid in Detroit, and you just said
it's
octopus.
An octopus, but yes. Squid and octopus are two different things, but
yes, you're correct.
But that's what it is. But you know why, right?
The slimy leg thing is what
you
was
said
going
in the
through my head. So that's
exactly.
just oh my gosh. Okay,
right. But it's from the 1952 that you needed 8 wins, and the Red Wings needed to win that for the cup.
Yep.
But the rats. Do you know why they throw the rats in?
Because it's Florida. I don't know.
They didn't have anything else to throw out.
I did know the story of this at one point, and I've forgotten what is it.
Okay, so in the 1995-96 season, a rat visited the team in the locker room, and one of the players actually killed it in the room.
Yes, I remember that now.
He actually went and scored 2 goals, and they won that game. So now, and that was the year of the Stanley Cup Finals. So it's seen as lucky.
To the Avalanche,
and they lost, but it was seen as lucky because of that game. So they latched onto it, and now they throw.
And they keep the rat thing going.
They throw the rats, right?
Yeah,
rats.
Because he scored 2 goals that night, and then okay.
But one that I never knew, I didn't know this was a thing until we saw that commercial of the Nashville Predators guy shoving a catfish in his jersey.
Sneaking it through security.
Why do they throw a catfish?
I can't get in with steel toe boots, but this guy can get a catfish into the
touched with the catfish in there, and the guy knows. But yeah, he let that go.
He let it go. Well, they let me go with my boots.
But do you know why the catfish?
Catfish in Nashville.
This was a weird one. In 1999, showing true disdain against the team they were playing against. I think it was the Detroit Red Wings. Okay. A Nashville bar owner, had an idea that he was going to throw a catfish out against the team, and it fired up the team enough that they won that game. So now it's just a thing.
It's amazing how they're when hat tricks and stuff, and you celebrate and you throw your hat out, and then when you lose a crucial game, you throw your soda or beer out on the ice. So but then you're not to do that, but you're allowed to do one, but not the other. Anyway.
Yeah, so I had the hats on the ice too.
Oh, hats on the ice. The hat. Well,
right, that was the hat tricks. There was a nod to the player scoring 3 goals in the game.
Hold on, pause. Do you know what is called when you get 4 goals in a game?
An albatross.
A haul.
A haul.
A haul.
Like a Hall of Fame. Kind of
you're hauling a bucket of pucks.
H-A-U-L.
Yeah, it's called a haul.
Oh,
if you've got 4 goals in a game. Okay, go back. Okay, unpause. Go.
Oh, and then true sudden death overtime. Back in the day, before shootouts, they actually played overtimes until the team actually won, scored a goal. They don't. But the longest game that they went was 6 overtimes for 218 minutes.
Right.
But that was when they used to really, well, in the playoffs, they don't have shootouts. They do play overtimes. So the last game we saw, or the one you saw, was the 2 overtimes just recently.
Yeah.
So it could go to 6 overtimes if necessary, but in the playoffs, they do not do shootouts. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how,
Or break down to 3 or against 3 or anything.
Oh, yeah. It's still 5-on-5,
right.
20-minute stop clock, 18-minute intermissions.
Right. They play the game to game to game. So you could technically watch 2 games if if the overtimes keep going.
Oh, yeah. And believe me, I've stayed up for some of those.
Well, that Washington one I remember. From a long time.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Easter Epic.
Yeah, that was on
Saturday
long
night,
time
and the
ago.
game ended at like 2:30 Sunday morning, Easter Sunday.
Right.
I was at that game. I have my ticket stub from that game still. Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
That was a crazy game.
So how are your brackets going?
Oh my gosh, my brackets are doing great. I got Florida advanced. We'll just go through real quick, the series, because the series have started from last week, and the Capitals are already eliminated. They got swept by the Rangers 4-0, so we're not going to talk about that anymore. Okay,
right.
See you next season, Caps. The Tampa Bay Lightning lost to who did Tampa? Oh,
Florida.
that was Florida, the Panthers, right?
Florida Panthers.
So the Florida Panthers, and they took that series, so they're moving on, which is awesome. And now they're waiting on everybody else. And tonight there's 4 games on, and the series are 3-1, so there could be some more teams eliminated tonight.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Toronto scored in overtime to pull out
against
go to
Boston.
game 6 now, I think.
They are now going into game 6.
That series might go 7.
You think?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah. The best hockey I've seen right now are the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes.
That series with Dallas. Mm-hmm. I guess it was 2 games to go, game 3. I was just sitting there mesmerized watching like Jack Eichel for the Vegas Golden Knights and his hands and the way he moves the puck and the finessing and it's just beautiful. And like there's a reason this guy's in the NHL. He is a huge deal. You know, he's had his issues in Buffalo and then, his injury and everything. But oh my gosh, he had a defenseman at one point hanging off his back as he's skating into the zone, and he's still puck handling like there's nothing there. It's just like, is there somebody on my back? Oh okay. I'm just gonna keep going in the zone.
I'm just gonna drag
and
you
then
along.
I'm gonna hit my pass tape to tape. So there you go, buddy. Jack Eichel, for the Vegas Golden Knights, I think it's a huge ad.
Right.
But that's a great series.
They're at 2-2 now.
Yeah. And then Avalanche. And who's Avalanche?
Jets.
And the Jets. Yeah, they're playing right now.
Yeah, but that's a 3-1. So Colorado could get it done.
And I'm hoping I'm hoping for Colorado.
Well, at recording, all these are moot because by the time you listen to this,
this is all
of these will be set,
it's
and
fine.
we'll see.
That's why we're going through them quick.
into and then
we got Vancouver.
Yeah, I think the only one you have left is
well, then there's Edmonton, LA, but nobody really cares about that because Edmonton's going to go on. I mean,
really?
LA's just not.
Lisa did predict that.
Yeah,
yes,
unofficially unofficial that she did predict that the Oilers would go on to win
in the last recording, we did actually put that out there.
I know
you did say,
and then
bracket,
midweek, Dave sends me a text. He goes, "No, so Lisa says, that." It was so funny. He goes, "Yeah, Lisa says, the Oilers." And I said, "Did she fill out a bracket?"
It's not official until it's in a bracket.
And then I said, "Yeah, it's not official unless it's in the bracket, Lisa. Sorry." And then he replies back, "So unofficially?" And I'm like, "Sounds good to me."
So we'll go with that. So officially, she's picked Edmonton as her team to win the whole thing. Win the
whole thing.
Win the cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and
I really was just asking her what her thoughts were about picks that I was questioning, which was the Kings and Oilers, because I really don't know much about those 2 teams. So I asked her just kind of out of the blue,
and she
just said Oilers. But then for the whole thing, when I was only asking her about the Kings and the Oilers. So, so that was interesting. So that she just decided, yep, that one sounds good. Cool. Pick that one.
Cool. So by next week, we should be getting very close to starting round 2.
Yes.
And moving forward. And
And all that'll be headed into, will they have played at least one by that time? Next Tuesday?
I think next Tuesday is the first day of the second round.
Okay.
Or maybe scheduled the last scheduled day possible for the first round or something. Or
do you think the teams that have all of this break in between the other teams actually going, the Rangers,
the Rangers sweep the Caps.
Right? They're sitting around waiting.
They could be off for like something like 8 or 9 days before the next.
So
if the other series goes 7 games, and then
is that a benefit?
There's a certain length of time there, and I've heard players talk about this that have been in those situations. That when you have one day off, you're wishing for 2 days off. And if you have 2 days off, you really would like to have that third day off. But by the fourth day, it starts to be like, and then fifth day, you're like, okay, I'm now bored.
Right.
Sixth day, and then, so if you have, 6, 7, 8 days off, that you
but
just
if you
get out of
knew
rhythm.
you had them,
You've been,
they don't know they're going to have them. This could end whenever.
Because, if you have 1, 2, maybe 3 days to heal up and, get all that, but you still have that, let's go. And, but it does die down after,
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen players talk about that and they've said, yeah, it's just like, it's hard to come back after sweeping a team.
Right.
And then,
is the NHL going to actually start them as soon as both teams are ready, or are they going to hold off until
they wait to start them all
closer?
Together so they both restart at the same time.
Right.
And
So
it's just waiting a day or two.
handful of teams sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
Even if they've all finished their series.
Yeah.
If there's one that goes all 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by next week, that will start. And now that we've already lost all of our female listeners,
we're
sorry.
But yeah,
we're sorry. Thanks for sticking with this. I know you guys hear us talk about hockey all the time, especially my wife. And she's like, okay, I listened to the last. Yeah.
Well, I tried to keep it a little less into the thing, but we did have to go over the playoffs. So
yeah. And we'll recap, with the next round.
Oh, of course.
All right. So I'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Statler and Waldorf is brought to you by, Statler and Waldorf and Vault Tech.
Better living underground. You will emerge.
And the good people at
Burns Industries,
Springfield's safest nuclear power. Till next time.